Hello, today is the 8th day of October. It's a Tuesday and also a snap day, so just FYI on that. Our word today is diplomacy, and diplomacy is, as you can see, it's the art of conducting negotiations with other countries. But we don't need to keep it in this big realm of other country negotiations. I like to think of diplomacy as anything that happens where you're negotiating something, maybe even trying to find a compromise with something. So we could exchange the word other countries with parents, with siblings, with friends. And if we think of it that way, then you participate in diplomacy every single day of your life. So as you negotiate with your parents over getting a new cell phone or going out for a sport or activity or having a friend spend the night or what to have for dinner, where to go out to eat, all sorts of things. You're negotiating with your parents, your siblings, your friends on things. So negotiations, it's just that conducting negotiations. Diplomacy is just a bigger between countries. Might be deciding on borders or to go to war or not to go to war or in trade agreements. So that's diplomacy. Think of an antonym. I think of a three-letter word that starts with a W. It would be the opposite of diplomacy. So think about that. Our target for today is to list people and groups that helped Lewis and Clark on their expedition to survive the expedition. So a little bit about Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark led an expedition called the Corps of Discovery in 1803. It took over 2 years for this. They started in St. Louis, Missouri, and they traveled. Their mission was to find a water route or a route in general to go from the Mississippi River, St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to the Pacific Ocean, so west. And what they found is that there is no direct water route. The Missouri River does end. There's a source of it. And then you happen to have these pesky Rocky Mountains that get in the way. So they had to go through those. And then they could take a river to the Pacific Ocean. And so they did this, and then they had to get back, obviously, to report back. But they were investigating the new lands that we had purchased in the Louisiana Territory from France that we talked about yesterday in class. So hence the connection of why we're watching this today, to learn more about Lewis and Clark. They really opened up the way for people to move into this new area that we had purchased, to fulfill that manifest destiny of owning and controlling and settling on this land. So they did the exploring, and then people followed them. Now, today we're watching a video to help us with this. This is it's called Lewis and Clark: The Great Journey West, and it was put out by National Geographic. I saw it years ago in the Science Museum in their Omni Theater. It's a great example of how we can see, the struggles and the difficulties, and also the help that people provided to Lewis and Clark and their expedition to get out west. And so hence why we have our target. What people and groups helped Lewis and Clark? So the problem with you being gone today is I have a copy of it here in class. I only have one. I did find, if we go to Schoology, and I'm in my current purple folder, Manifest Destiny and Westward Expansion Unit, I did find a link that's currently published that has that video on it. And that is right here. It's a YouTube link. If you have unlimited data or you have Wi-Fi at your house, go ahead and watch this. It's about 42 minutes, so just know it'll eat up a lot of if you're using your data for it. So if you don't have access to data, I do have a different assignment you can do. By the way, here are the video questions. You can just write those on a regular sheet of paper. You can grab a sheet from me and do this another day, but we are turning this in. It's a full day activity, so it is an in-class points. If you missed it and don't have access to a lot of Wi-Fi, you can also go to this particular one, and you would complete this assignment instead. And again, you can either get a copy from me, or you can just write these questions on a sheet of paper. And so you're just going to do some research, like who was involved in Lewis and Clark expedition. It was more than just Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. Find out who else. What was the mission? How did a variety of people help? What were their successes and failures? and then find 2 interesting things from your research and jot them down. So that's what you would do in place of in case you aren't here and don't have that ability to watch that on your own. And again, that's in the Manifest Destiny, the purple, our current folder is where you would find that information. Otherwise, that really took us the entire time, especially on a snap day. Tomorrow we'll continue on our map and finding out how we got more of our land. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day. Hope you're feeling better if that's what's happening or whatever you're doing. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.